So hi, it's a Monday morning and I figured to film myself. Actually, I've been trying to get better light outside, but I wasn't able to. It's just too washed out. This week, it's kind of like a long weekend because I don't have to work later, even though it's Monday, because it's like a holiday in the region that I work with. So I won't be calling anyone or won't be doing any admin work. So I am safe at home right now. We won't have to work on anything at all, but I do need to work on something. It's like a side job that I've been doing and I've been helping students with. So I need to take a look at that. I have like a short meeting later, but I figured to just sit down real quick because I wanted to talk about something that I have always been thinking for quite some time now. And this is concerning quitting and not quitting. So, have you ever experienced those moments where you felt like you really wanted to quit because you felt like it's the only thing that can give you peace of mind? But you can't do that. It's because a lot of people are saying that if you do that, you're a loser. You just have to go through with it, right? And I know some of my videos I've actually been talking about you need to go out there, and even if you don't feel like doing it, you just have to do it. It's because there's a great difference between people doing it compared to people who are not doing it at all. Now, I tell you that's actually quite true. It's true that there's a great difference between people that does it until the end than people that give up in the middle of it. Okay? A great example of that are those people that wanted to lose weight and they just struggled at the first part, did what they could, focus on their diet for like maybe 6 to 8 months, and then they just stopped doing it because they felt like they're not getting any results. And they just don't realize that changes in their lifestyle actually compounds into something great. And they never realize that if they might have pushed another month, they will see the changes that they've been aiming for, they've been craving for. And the thing is, changes doesn't really come easily, so it's not that you would have to change one food in your lifestyle, then you will greatly see a difference the next day. So if you wanted to get something, you have to work for it, right? And I know we have read or we have heard a lot of self-help videos in the internet saying that things like this, in moments that you don't feel like it, in moments that you feel like quitting, just don't quit. And it's actually very helpful. But there's always exceptions. So when can we say that it's okay for us to quit and it's not being just us being a loser? Today we'll be talking about that. I have my magical journal here, which I folded on those parts that I've actually took notes of. I also have discovered the beauty of ebooks. You know, we always carry our phone. I always face the screen because I work. And whenever I have breaks or lunch and I don't feel like sleeping or I don't feel like eating at all, I open Scribd or I open those purchase ebooks that I have in my book app in my iPhone, and I just read. And I've learned a lot. I mean, reading has always been part of my favorite hobby ever since when I was like teenagers, when I was like a little kid. And right now, I just realized that reading some more, even though I'm at the stage wherein I'm a mom, gave me more knowledge than I have ever dreamt of. Years ago, I've read just novels, quick stories, and right now I am focusing on self-help books, arts, and yoga. So I wrote another essay or another content in my journal. It's because I just felt like it. And it's always been very helpful for me because whenever I have thoughts that I wanted to talk about, I just go ahead and scribble and just wrote it in my journal. And whenever I felt bad and I felt like I can relate on those words that I have actually written, I usually just look at it, read it, and it gave me power and it gave me, wise words, and it helps me a lot in every single decision that I've made in my entire life. So today we will be talking about when to know how to quit. So when we always feel burnt out at work, we decide to do AWOL. You know that AWOL? Absence without leave. And AWOL and resignation actually have their own reasons behind it. Let's just say, how shallow your reasons are, those are still reasons. It could be either you hate your office mate, it could be that you hate your boss, and a million of different reasons. Now for me, I have experienced this myself when I was working in one of the small call center jobs here in Nueva Ecija. I just don't want to say the name of the company, but they were like, to me, the worst company and working environment that I've ever worked with. At first, I've actually lasted there for like 7 months, almost 7 months. And there's just one point there that actually I snapped, and so I did send a resignation letter. Now, if any one of you who've worked with me in my previous job here in Nueva Ecija, you know who this company is, and you know probably know what happened, because it's been like a lot of people in our small office actually know about the reason, and a lot of them did realize the reason quite late after I resigned, of course. So I will tell you like a short story time here. First is that this is like a very important job for me. It's because while in the middle of the pandemic, we lost almost everything, and I applied for a lot of jobs, and none of them actually called me. Some of them called me but never got back at me, and didn't really told me that I passed or not. But this company actually offered me a place to stay. The thing is, we lived in Mindanao back then, and it's like far away. And so I figured to borrow some money and travel from Cagayan City to the place where I should be living. And that place is actually provided by the company themselves. My dog was like moving it. There we go. So, to cut the story short, I was working and I am doing well. I felt like it's going to be a great employee to employee ties, or felt like I have like an amazing people, because I've met a lot of great people, to be honest. But the thing is, slowly I am learning that there are the working environment was too toxic for me, because they often go out for an eat out, and whenever I say no, it's because at that time I just realized that I have problems with gluten, and I have been strictly following the diet because I'm not feeling well at that moment. They are kind of like mocking me for, you know, not spending time with them in their eat out. I felt like I was being forced to be on an eat out or to be on a GA. They call it GA here in the Philippines. It's like a group assembly or group gathering where everybody in the same office space goes out, eat, drink, and the thing is, I am not into that stage of my life anymore. I've been like an extrovert person years ago. In Cebu, when I was working as a call center agent, I've been out and about for GAs with my friends. We've even traveled really like far away from the city proper. It's because I felt like doing it. It's because I felt like the people that I've been working with are my friends. But this company that I've worked with is quite different. They're very toxic. They call out your mistakes, which is actually quite good. But the thing is, the way they call out your mistakes, it's more exaggerated. And the thing is, they've always had favoritism. They love that one employee, and we are seeing a lot of mistakes from her previous documentations, but they're not seeing it. It's because they just love calling out other people's mistakes and not seeing the mistakes that their favorite employees is getting. And this is coming from our supervisor. So months and months actually rolled out, and I felt like so stressed, not because of the work, but because of the people that I work with. They often talk about other people whenever that person is not in the office. So I felt like I don't wanna be absent, because I know if I'm going to turn my back into this kind of people, they will be talking the same shit about me, and that makes me anxious and a little bit depressed as well. And it's like my senses are too heightened, because I can hear them laughing whenever whatever stuff that I do, or maybe it's just because I was just being paranoid. I don't know. Now, a lot of things did happen. I shared my feelings with one of the new employees that I felt like people are mocking me, and sometimes people are just laughing at me for some reasons, because I just don't do this and do that. And that new employee actually talked about it into the supervisor, because it ended up they're old friends, and of course old friends are more heavy than new ones that shared their thoughts about the working environment. So they confronted me, not really confronted me, but they didn't really confronted me. But what they did is that they laughed at me, created their own GC, and talked shit about me and all of the other folks in the office. Now, I need to go home at that time, and I was really missing home, so I figured to just pass my resignation letter, whatever, I just resign, and it made me feel better. So that's the reason why I am right here working at home, and I'm very much happy with the company that I am currently with, which is they've been providing everything that I needed. If I haven't resigned on that very toxic job, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be as happy as I am right now. So the main key point that I wanted to talk about is it's okay to quit. Because as what I wanted to read this part here. According to Jill Pilchina, I'm sorry if I'm reading it wrong. According to Jill Pilchina, the CEO of Wikia, she actually describes quitting as if you throw a gasoline on a log, all you get is a wet log. But if you throw a gasoline on a small flame, you get an inferno. So that short and empowering quotation that I got from her from one of the books that I've read actually means that no matter how good you are, if you are in a place that you're not being appreciated, or if you are in a workplace that you're not actually given a chance to bloom, then you will not bloom. So in order for you to get that spark, that inferno, you need to be in the right place, not really the right time, but in the right place that you feel like you're gonna grow. And if you feel like you're not growing in a specific working environment, then it's okay to quit. Or if you feel like your business is not working, then it's okay to stop it. It's okay to quit. It's not being a loser. Because sometimes, according to Tina Seelig, one of my favorite author, she's the author of the What I Wish I Knew When I Was 20, which actually inspired me to create the things that I wanted to know, I wanted my younger self to know, which is an old video of mine just before this, if you take a look at it. She said in one of her chapters in the book, quote, "Quitting is actually incredibly empowering. It's a reminder that you control the situation and can leave whenever you like. You don't have to be your own prison." Okay, that part that says you don't have to be your own prison really resonates to me so much. It's because I felt like this almost 7 months that I've worked in that company is like a prison for me. I haven't grown. I was not promoted because of the personal issues that they don't like me because I'm so stingy, because I don't eat out with them, okay? I'm a very talkative person is what you see, but in that office, I am very quiet. It's because I don't feel like talking to anyone else. It's because my trust just went down, and I felt like everybody's been talking about other people's lives whenever that person is not around. So I know if I'm gonna talk one shit word about myself or share anything else, it's gonna get delivered from one person to another, and everybody's gonna laugh at me and I'm gonna be a clown. So I have like a trust issues with that office. It's the worst thing ever, and the most worst part is that the reward system is crooked. After I resigned, a lot of my office mates actually reported discrimination and missing funds actually was given to the HR team, and I don't know what happened back then because I just felt like they deserve it. It's their karma. So overall, I mean, another point that I wanted to talk about that is that the reason why I actually share that is that whenever you do something onto others, it's going to come back to you. And you actually need to remember that if you do something that is quite fishy, please always remember that it will be found out by someone somewhere somehow in the process. So please don't cheat, don't steal money from other people's reward system, because it's not going to be good. Now, going back to the quitting part, ever since then, I realized that after resigning from the job, we were like moneyless, penniless, for like almost 2 months, and after I got hired from this job, I realized that there's actually a great difference between a healthy working environment compared to a toxic working environment. And I was so happy. I was really happy at my decision, and I thought at first my decision was like the worst thing ever that I've ever had in my entire life, I've ever did in my entire life. But actually it is not. It is one of the best decisions that I've ever had, because if I hadn't resigned in that place, I wouldn't be in this company. That I am allowed to work at the comfort of my home, that they were able to give me like multiple computers just to help me work, and they're able to, they won't even question me if I ask for a 1-day leave. They're not going to question me. What are you going to do? Why are you asking for a time off? They just agreed to it. That's how amazing this company that I am right now. As of the moment, I don't have any problems. So, overall, it's actually what you call who you are is actually defined, but what are you willing to struggle with? That is one of the quotations that I've actually read from The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. It's one of the books that I've read, and I'm still reading it, and I haven't really finished it because I have a lot of, side jobs that I need to do. But the thing is, sometimes we're so fixated on that beautiful body, and we just wanted to get the beautiful body, but we are not willing to work hard to get that. Do you get what I mean? If you're going to look at those people that waste a lot of money for gym memberships and go into gyms and waste a lot of hours just to work out their body, those are the people that's going to have their 6-pack. Those are the people that's going to have really amazing physique. And if you're not those people, that if you're not willing to struggle, then you are not going to have that amazing body. The thing is, sometimes people always ask, what do you want? And they always say, I want to be happy. Everybody can be happy. If you just tweak your mindset, you will get happy. Regardless of how poor you are, if you're just happy and grateful of what you have, you'll be happy. But the thing is, have you ever had someone in your life that asks you, what are you willing to struggle for? What pain are you willing to undergo? Because I think life has always been ups and downs. And it's not about happiness, or it's not about being comfortable in a certain situation, but it's about what pain and struggle are you willing to experience, and be contented in doing so and experiencing the pain all over again just to be there. I'm not saying this is because I'm 100% happy with my job, because there are parts in my job that I don't feel like working at all, but I don't mind. It's because it's okay for me to feel the pain of not being able to sleep at night. It's okay for me for having less sleep than I was supposed to be getting at my age. It's because it's okay for me to struggle for this job. It's because this job is worth struggling for. And it's okay for me to take in the pain. It's because I know this job is worth the pain. And I guess we just have to question our lives. What are the pain that we're willing to undergo for a certain goal that we wanted to reach in our lives? And then again, I want you to remember that it's okay to quit, and quitting is not about being a loser sometimes. Letting go is about being brave enough to know that you can't continue this business venture, that you can't continue this working environment anymore, and that being brave enough to face the truths about you, that you can't do it, you can't make it, and it's okay. It's okay to quit sometimes, and it's okay to be a quitter at multiple times, because we are actually finding the place that we are comfortable with in this world, and not what people is the same. So if your friend is having a great time in that company, but you felt like it's not your company yet, then quit. Send your resignation letter. It's okay. It's okay to quit sometimes. And I think that settles it. I'm going to be seeing you in the next week's vlog. You have a great day. Bye-bye.